right, you are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. When I stretch that out, you know I've got nothing to say. I'm quitting alcohol. So. All my plans for this last month before the new baby's born have just gone out the window. I thought it was going to be a fucking cruisy last few weeks. My kid was meant to be going back to childcare, so I was going to get about a month of just fucking pure BT, boiled time. No interruptions, no fucking sounds in the house. Just me under a blanket on the couch, just pondering, just thinking. Now I'm going straight from lockdown into like life lockdown. I won't even remember what fucking freedom tastes like. I'll have gone from 5 months in lockdown straight into a new baby. Straight into 18 straight years of fucking nightmare. Now it's getting real fucking close too. It's meant to be October 10, but I assume it's going to come early. So I have to start switching on mentally. I have to get mentally prepared for this whole fucking thing. It's getting into that zone where it could just fucking come at any time now. And I just don't want to be sitting on the couch at like 9 o'clock, my kid's gone to sleep, and then my wife's water breaks and I just sit there and roll my eyes. Just like, for fuck's sake, I just fucking sat down. Now I have to deal with a new fucking kid. Alright, where do we have to go? What do we do? I can't remember. The last one was fucking 4 years ago and I was drunk the whole time. I can barely remember the first 2 years of his life. So it's baby names at the moment, and nothing can get more annoying than choosing a baby name. She's reading out names to me, and I'm just like, no. Why do all the names you're suggesting sound like an Uber driver? I'm not naming my kid after an Uber driver. And she's like, why don't you suggest some? I'm like, hey, I'll know it when I hear it. I don't need to look at anything. I haven't looked at anything. All I'm saying is no. That's what I mean. I have to start engaging. I'm going to have to start thinking of a name now. And here's the thing. It's so fucking annoying choosing a name. It's like choosing a movie or something to eat. I just say to my wife, just fucking, I don't care. You choose something. And then she comes back to me with a suggestion. And I'm like, are you an idiot? Where did you get that name? Did the Uber Eats guy leave his name badge behind, did he? And we haven't found out the sex of the baby either. That's the only reason why you should find out the sex of a baby. So you only have to go through the hell of choosing a name once. You don't have to choose the guy and the girl's name. You just choose one name because you know the sex. I found a loophole with our first kid. My wife was just throwing names at me. And then there was one I liked. I'm like, that's a beautiful girl's name. I think I'd be happy with that name. And then she's like, well, what if it's a boy? I'm like, fucking just call it the same name. If it's a guy or a girl, just call it that. And that's what we did. We had one name, and we were going to call the kid that no matter what sex it was. It was a fucking brilliant play. It was one of my greatest masterpieces of laziness. And everyone's happy with that name too. The only problem was for the first 3 years of his life, he got confused for a girl. But fucking, that's going to happen. That's going to happen no matter what, isn't it? So yeah, it's looking more like an ethnic name because white names are fucking horrendous. David? The fuck is that? That's a fucking nightmare. David. Hey, David, come over here. Boyle Jr. David Boyle Jr. For a guy or a girl. Oh, she's so cute. What's her name? David Boyle Jr. James? Ugh, that's disgusting. James is like the assistant manager of a Kmart. Gavin. Naming your kid Gavin is basically saying, we're pretty sure you're going to be gay. But then you've got the Indian names and it's seriously like Rohit, Raul, Isis. I kind of like the name Isis. Isis David Boyle Jr. My beautiful daughter, Isis David Boyle Jr. And if it's a boy, this is David Isis Boyle Jr. I wish they hadn't sullied that name up. Isis is a cool name. She was like an Egyptian goddess or something. She's a protector. And that was for like 6,000 years. When you said Isis, they would think of an Egyptian goddess, the protector of women and children. And now when you think of ISIS, you think of a dirty fucking... you think of a fucking Arab Beheading a journalist in an orange jumpsuit. The Indian names just suck. Akil, Mohit. Ugh. My wife has like 17 friends named Mohit and 14 named Akil. I think the way I'm going to play it is I'm not going to have anything locked in until I get into the delivery room. And then I'm going to jump on the nitrous oxide, which I did last time and it was fucking great. My wife was in the middle of contractions and she was like, the pain's fucked. I'm like, why don't you get that nitrous oxide shit? Just get it and see if it works. So she got it and she started sucking on it. She's like, it's not doing anything. I'm like, give it here. Fucking bastards. They didn't even fucking give you one that's working, did they? Let me have a try. Let me inspect this. And then I started sucking on it, getting high as fuck. Of course it was working. It's just not going to fucking work for pain relief when there's a baby coming out of you. I ended up sucking down that nitrous for a good hour or so. Just continuing to inspect it. Give it here. Have they fixed it yet? Give me a... Yeah, not working on me either. Those fuckers. And my wife's like, I think I need the epidural. The pain's just unbearable now. I'm like, if you get the epidural, do they take away this nitrous oxide? Like, is that how it works? Or do they leave it here? Let me just ask the doctor. Can you hold on for a little bit longer? Hey, doc. The wife over there is saying some shit about she wants the epidural. But I said to her, if you take the epidural, they'll take away the pen. Is that true? Do you take away the nitrous oxide if you give the epidural? Are you fit to be a father? Is that a yes or a no, doc? So my plan is to get high as fuck in the delivery room. And then hopefully, because it's the first time I've gotten high in almost 2 years by then, I get a little bit of inspiration. Maybe I see something in the room that clicks something like lamp boil, IV drip boil, syringe boil, Ringy, Siri. No, Siri's too Indian. That's already been suggested. I don't know. I don't know what the name's going to be, but it's getting to the point where I can't avoid it anymore. It's getting to the point where I have to engage. I'm going to have to at least Google or pretend to Google. Have a side page open with names, just in case I get asked. How about Enzo? Yeah, guy or girl, doesn't matter. If you've got any name suggestions you want to send in to me, send them into my social media, at Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. I'll be more than happy to take suggestions. All right, that's it for me tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, share it around with your friends, and I'll see you the fuck later.